Out of the blue, okay? Googled recently how many Hollywood couples have open relationships. Girl. Hello everyone, my name is Fabiola Zeffi and we're here on BareTalk today to talk about open relationships. Ooh. Open those legs. No. Okay, so interestingly enough, out of the blue, okay? Googled recently how many Hollywood couples have open relationships. Girl. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Thanks, girl. And I was so surprised because I feel like they used to be so taboo, and I mean, you cannot believe everything you read nowadays, but what are your guys' thoughts on it?
If we look back in history, okay, from different research that we have, from what social life was like, many cultures were in open relationships, and that's what people did before marriage became something that people did.
Or was it men doing it? Was it men
I think
doing
maybe,
it?
Is this an alternative for the woman sometimes to say, okay, I don't want to break up with you and you've cheated on me, maybe we'll just all open this up?
See, we're looking at it from the wrong point,
is?
I feel, because I feel like to have an open relationship, you have to have so much trust, you have to have a great relationship, you don't want to give up on one another. I don't think it comes from a place of like not trusting one another, let's give up, but we want to cling on to each other still. No, I feel like it's two adults loving each other so much, and they're like, they have different needs, and again, I don't know what I'm going to feel like in 20 years from now. It's not from a bad place, from a good place, I feel.
Open relationships are a risky one, really, because there's so much temptation around. So you might, sometimes it seems easier to be like, you know what? Instead of me worrying about you cheating on me, why don't I just kind of let it happen? A boyfriend and I did it at one point, but we were struggling in our relationship. Nothing was going right, and we were like, for some reason, we were still holding on. We were still trying to fight for it, and we were like,
I feel like that would be the wrong time to do it almost.
It was, but in that moment, we were just like, let's just try it and see if this works. Maybe we'll come back together. We didn't, but we.
Well, that was fun.
What we had was rules. We were like, okay, these are our rules. They have to stick to them. It was like 2 weeks in, I found out he wasn't sticking to the rules, and I was like, we're done. Like, we are done. I'm not doing this, and it just wrapped things up. And to be honest, I was like relieved. So for me, that it was the wrong time to even try it. And I don't know if I was really in love with someone, how I would feel with sharing them behind my back. Maybe like with me at the same time.
I'm gonna add to that. Yeah, you just like hit the nail on the head with that one. For me, it's when I was single a couple years ago, a guy on our first date, he's like, I had no fucking clue what open relationships even were. I actually had to Google it. Like, what the fuck does it mean? Like, he sees somebody else, then he comes and cuddles my ass after? Like, move out the way. Like, so, anyhow, this guy asked me and I said, no, absolutely not. But then with time, I've definitely changed my thought process. Not me now, but I don't know, like, what's gonna happen 20 years from now if I'm with the same person and we're both like, I love you so much, and I feel like opposite of what you did, like you gotta have that respect and that
I know many
boundaries.
couples who have been together for decades on the premise of polyamory and open relationships, and they do have rules, and it's mostly complete and utter honesty right from the beginning, you know, direct and open communication all the time, and boundaries. Like, you have to set boundaries, and no relationship is perfect, but in monogamous relationships, they're not perfect either.
Exactly.
So I think it really depends on the individuals in the relationship, but it can definitely
like,
work.
who's to say that's right or wrong if it works for the couple, right?
Trends in relationships are definitely changing, and they're changing little by little as time advances. And I mean, marriage trends are changing as well. I mean, people are getting married less, and when they are, they're a lot older than they used to be. I don't have experience with open relationships. I've never had one. This is now really making me think, what would I be like in one like that? I have so much to give someone that I don't think that I would feel like I'm taking away from the one person I really, really care about. And I'm wondering if maybe people who go into open relationships, it's kind of an alternative than just to say, I think we might be done here. And instead, I mean, breaking up is hard, even if you think you have to, but ending anything is hard. So now here, well, we don't have to end this, but I still get to do this and try this and this and this. And that's not something we would openly talk about even 10, 15 years ago, but it's something we're openly talking about now. And maybe this is gonna be the majority, and like
Yeah.
what you said, 20 years from now, maybe that is going to be what people do 20 years from now.
I think
it's
people are
definitely not
doing
gonna be
it, but are not. It's more taboo to
Yeah.
talk about it now.
Yeah.
And for me, I agree with Megan. You said earlier, like if both parties are present and they're having, you know, an adult good time together with somebody else, that's a different story. But I'm not sure how I feel
you know what,
about
if we-
like
if
behind
we
my
look
back.
back-
You made an
Yeah.
interesting point about having, you know, your love to just to share with one person.
Yes.
I've heard of many couples in open relationships who have so much love to give and different facets of it or emotional connection that they seek and can find and feel more fulfilled with other partners. So it can, some people share that in that regard,
Yeah.
but it's...
But an open relationship might not be about love at all. It might be like, we have love, but you don't do this that I like.
And
this person
you
does.
you kind of said that too. It's about
Yeah.
need. Like
Yeah.
you can have love, but maybe this one person, there's needs that they can't fulfill or your connection can't, but you still need it fulfilled.
We're gonna carry this on
Like-
afterwards because it's like such a delicate topic. Anyhow, you know, you do you, boo. You do whatever you feel like it. For me right now, I am not feeling like sharing my honey with anybody, but I don't know what's gonna happen in 20 years. And this has been Bear Talk. It's been very bare today, by the way. Check out our links down below and our social media. Mwah. I ain't sharing my honey with nobody.
I like
But
that.